What's up, sports bettors? Matt here, aka Jedi Modi, coming to you with a betting preview for the Colts versus Titans game. Now, heading into the year, this was probably pegged as a pretty important AFC South matchup in Week 4. Titans won the division last year, obviously were the 1 seed in the AFC. The Colts trading for Matt Ryan, presumably having an upgrade at quarterback, no longer having Carson Wentz there, were the favorite to win the division this year. Cut to, both of these teams stink. The Titans are 1-2. The Colts are 1-1. Both of them look to be significantly worse than the last place team last year, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those same Jaguars who just got the 1 pick in the draft 2 years in a row. They look great. Not a knock against the Jags. More of a knock against these two teams that stink. Now, the Colts are the pretty decent favorite here at minus 165 money line. That's actually not a bad price. If you do like the Colts in this one and you're willing to accept a little bit worse juice at minus 165 odds, that's not horrible. As you can see, the average odds on the Colts money line is minus 182. We see Bet Online price them at minus 190. We see Bookmaker price them at minus 180. We see Pinnacle at minus 182. All of those being pretty sharp sports books, all of them pricing it at a minimum 17 to 15 to 25 cents higher than when you can get it at on DraftKings. So I do have a play on the spread in this one, but if you like the money line and you don't want to mess with the spread, DraftKings at minus 165 is a pretty good price. I would actually recommend that one. Now, looking at the spread is where I do have a play, a pretty good one, if I could say so myself. PointsBet is offering the Colts minus 3 at minus 110 odds. Every other book that is pricing this play is giving you at best minus 115 on FanDuel, DraftKings, Foxbet. And then, of course, Pinnacle prices them at minus 3.5. Minus 129 at minus 3. Minus 129. I got ahead of myself. Another reason why I like this one is if you go a half point higher, and that field goal is a very important number for the underdog. Keep that in mind. This is an important number for the underdog. If the Colts win on a last second field goal, this bet pushes, this bet loses. So that field goal is very important. Even with that extra half point, with that field goal in mind, Bet Online, a sports book that I mentioned as pretty sharp, favors the Colts at minus 3.5. They have them at minus 115 odds. There are other books that favor the Colts at this number as well. Betfred, Caesars. They both think that the more likely scenario is that the Colts cover the 3.5 spread. Now, Bookmaker, just to be upfront, obviously has the opposite side. They favor the Titans at 3.5, but they still price this spread at 3.5, where we can get it on PointsBet at minus 3. I think this is an awesome play. I like it for football reasons as well. Both of these teams have just looked dreadful. I'm not sure who I trust more because I actually do like both coaches. I will admit, I do like both coaches. I think Frank Reich's a good coach. I think Mike Vrabel is a good coach. Where I landed on the Colts, number one, is because they are the home team. And number two, maybe they can use the momentum from beating the Chiefs in their favor in this one. Both of these teams got their first win last week. The Colts beat the Chiefs. The Titans beat the Raiders. Not exactly the same level of opponent there. I also think Matt Ryan is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. Now, Matt Ryan has played horrible so far this year. I still think he's better than Ryan Tannehill. And this Titans team, they have yet to show that they can replace the production of the lost A.J. Brown, who they obviously traded away in the offseason. Treylon Burks has looked good, but they've been hesitant to give him the full complement of snaps. So, admittedly, I don't have a ton of faith in either of these teams in general if they're facing off against many other people. But the clash of these two awful teams, I will take the home team. I will take the better quarterback. I will take who I think is the better head coach, but that can be subjective between Frank Reich and Mike Vrabel. And I'll take the Colts minus 3. So this is at minus 110 odds. This is going to be a 1-unit play for me at PointsBet. Colts spread minus 3. Going to put a unit on this one. So that's it for my spread play. Looking at the total, a pretty low total here, pretty grossly low. Looks like it's between 42.5 and 43, depending on what books you are looking at. If you look at the alternate lines, which is an easier way to see the holistic betting view of the market, it looks like the better play here is on WinBet on the over at minus 110 odds, over 42.5. Not exactly sure if that is a positive expected value play because it is important to remove the VIG. But what I will say, bookmaker pricing that at minus 115 is a good sign. Bet online pricing it at a higher number at 43 is a good sign. And then OddsJam having it at minus 117 is obviously a good sign as well. I don't believe that it will end up being positive EV because it's important to remove the VIG. But let's see. So we got minus 117. We got plus 102. Yeah, it puts that at about minus 109. So not quite positive EV. It's negative EV. So I'm sitting out a total and I'm having my favorite bet, my only bet for this game, going to be on the spread. It's also a positive EV play, which is where I found it in the first place, if I'm being honest. Colts minus 3, minus 110 on PointsBet. The OddsJam perfect line with the VIG removed has it at minus 113. We got it at minus 110 on PointsBet. It's a positive EV play of about 1.23%. And that's it. That's going to be my betting preview for this Titans-Colts game. If you have any questions, if you're tailing, let me know. Would love to hear it. But that's it. So appreciate you guys watching and have a good one.